The title of our research study is Implementing the Modular Distance Learning in Talisayan Elementary School during Pandemic COVID-19. It is prepared by Corryna, Decano,
and also Kenneth, Louie, Gabarda.
Face-to-face learning engagement of students and instructors inside the faculty has been suspended due to COVID-19 pandemic.
This pandemic has paved a way to the implementation of modular distance learning for continuity of education.
Modular gaining knowledge is the most popular type of distance learning. The teachers takes the responsibility of monitoring the growth of the learners, and where possible, the teacher shall do domestic visits to learners desiring remediations or assistance. And since education is no longer held within the school, mother and father serve as companions of teachers in education. Parents or guardians play the vital positions as domestic facilitators. Their fundamental role in modular mastering is to set up the connections and information to the child. The main objective of this research study is to find out the circumstances of the parents, students, and teachers of Talisayan Elementary School in implementing the modular distance learning during pandemic COVID-19 in 2020-2021. Here is the statement of the problem. Due to implementing modular distance learning, the sub-objective of this proposed research study is to find out what challenges are encountered by teachers, parents, and students also of Talisayan Elementary School. In addition, Talisayan Elementary School is located in Barangay Talisayan, Pratidilla, Sorsogon, and this location has poor signal, no data connections, and no internet access. So, the sub-objective also of this proposed research study is to determine if modular distance learning in Talisayan Elementary School was effective during pandemic COVID-19.
One of the related study of our proposed research study stated that the perception of parents and learners on modular distance learners as a contemporary teaching strategy shows effectiveness even facing different challenges and advantages.
And that research study is by Trubella 2021. Let's proceed to the conceptual framework of this proposed research study. The COVID-19 pandemic will serve as an independent variable, and modular distance learning will serve as a mediator variable as it may affect the result of independent variable, which is the circumstances of the respondents. Let's proceed to the research methodology, the research design of this proposed research study. This proposed research study utilized the descriptive survey method as means of gathering and interpreting the data findings. The researchers utilized an adapt questionnaires as a medium in collecting data and gathering information as a basis in formulating some further recommendations. The main objective of this proposed research study utilized the descriptive research design as it entails collecting data for the circumstances of the parents, students, and teachers of Talisayan Elementary School in implementing the modular distance learning during pandemic COVID-19. And also, the sub-objective of this research study utilized a descriptive survey design also as it provides a question of what challenges encountered by teachers, parents, students of Talisayan Elementary School due to implementing modular distance learning during pandemic. One of the sub-objective of our proposed research study, which is the determining if modular distance learning in Talisayan Elementary School was effective during pandemic COVID-19, will be a longitudinal research design as it intends to study the future outcomes upon earlier factors, which is the COVID-19 pandemic that may cause a variable which is the teachers, parents, and students of Talisayan Elementary School to difficult situation. From the factor COVID-19 pandemic, it may cause an effect to a variable from one period to another. Those objectives of this proposed research study used to obtain information concerning the current issues of the phenomena, which is the pandemic COVID-19, and also used to describe what exists, which is the modular distance learning with respect to a variable which is the teachers, parents, students of Talisayan Elementary School, and to a condition of this variable in a situation. Let's continue to the sampling method of our research proposed study. Our proposed research study wanted to select a random group of 35 parents, 35 students, and 10 school personnel or teachers of Talisayan Elementary School with a total of 80 participants from out of 400 estimated total respondents of parents, students, and teachers of Talisayan Elementary School. Using schematic sampling, all the potential participants, parents, students, and teachers must be placed in a list randomly. Every pip on the list must be the participants. Counting starts from the selected starting point, which is pip 10th, 15th, and so on, would be chosen as a participant since 400 over 80 is equal to 5. Because of the simplicity of the systematic sampling among other sampling method, it is easier to understand. The result represents the majority of normal populations, guarantees the entire populations is even sampled.
Let's proceed to the sampling size of our proposed research study. This proposed research study wanted to select 90% confidence level that allows for only a 5% marginal of error, and it will be required to collect 80% out of 400 population size, which is the estimated total of all teachers, students, and also the parents of those students of Talisayan Elementary School.
The temporary number of participants of this study contains 80 participants, which is 35 parents, 35 students, and 10 teachers from the target populations of 400 respondents, which is the estimated total of all teachers, students, and also the parents of those students of Talisayan Elementary School. Using Slovene equation, n is equal to big N over 1 plus NE squared, and the 90% confidence level, the sampling size was determined. This sampling size is enough to determine the entire group as a whole, since the status of every family of those students are almost the same, and to all teachers rather, we are confidently to conduct a survey even in a small random group, because due to their similar status and also due to COVID-19 pandemic that everyone's affected, it has a bigger tendency that even in a small sampling size, we can get the entire answers to the whole populations. Let's proceed to the last one, the data collection method of this proposed research study. This proposed research study used a survey instrument developed by the researcher to determine the circumstances of parents, students, and teachers of Talisayan Elementary School in the implementing of modular distance learning during pandemic COVID-19. The questionnaires used the printed forms and was given to all target respondents. The questionnaires has a Filipino translation for a better and clearer understanding of the statements for a more accurate response. The students were assisted by parents in answering the questionnaire. All the respondents will inform of the purpose of the data gathering instrument that they answered. The data gathered was kept confidential and it's utilized only for this research. And that is our proposal research study. Thank you.